Hey y'all, come look at this.
मशीन कपड़ा खा रही है.
हाँ ये अच्छा है.
No.
मशीन कपड़ा खा रही है.
मशीन कपड़ा खाती है जब
That guy's, you tell me.
I don't know if they're machine कपड़ा खा
It's
रही
a
है.
veggie.
Oh.
वैसे ही जब नहीं वो आप उठते हैं या आप जा रहे होते हो पीछे आपकी कमीज
रात शलवार कमीज में बहुत ज्यादा होता है कमीज
तो
अंदर
ये
हो जाती
बाजी है मशीन कपड़ा खा रही है is a good way of saying
Machine कपड़ा
खा रही है.
खा रही है.
So your ass is a machine and कपड़ा खा रही है.
हाँ.
Yeah,
ठीक है.
Okay, great. I
तो ये
should write these down.
आपने ये चलाना है रोजमर्रा में.
ये गाना अगर आप बना सके तो
Oh
मशीन
my god.
You should include all of
गुल
these,
अहमद
you
को
know.
ये नेक्स्ट कैंपेन होगा.
हाँ कपड़े से भी कनेक्ट हो जाएगा.
They're never calling us for work now after that
मुझे तो
joke.
उसके बाद भी बुलाया. आपको तो शायद फिर
मुझे
बुला
एक तो
लिया.
दफा हाँ, but like we're never
इसके
getting
बाद
called.
अस्सलाम वालेकुम लेडीज एंड जेंटलमैन, वेलकम बैक टू द ट्रिपल ट्रबल पॉडकास्ट. रिवायत को कंटिन्यू करते हुए हम आजकल अपने रोला डेक्सेस जो है ना उनको एक्सपायर कर रहे हैं. दोस्त बुलाए जा रहे हैं.
रोलाडेक्स क्या होता है?
अली सर, आप अमीर आदमी, आप ये गरीब बात आप पे अच्छी नहीं लगती.
बेसिकली सोशल करेंसी हम अपनी एग्जॉस्ट कर रहे हैं बेसिकली.
नहीं खैर, ये थोड़ा डेटेड ऑब्सक्योर टर्म भी है. बैक इन द डे जो फ़ोन बुक या समझ लें जो कॉन्टैक्ट लिस्ट होती है हमारी, तो वो कार्ड होल्डर सा होता था जिसमें बिजनेस कार्ड्स का एक वो होता था.
Oh yes, yes, I've seen it. Okay,
okay.
my bad.
Anyway,
I'm
आज-
not as ancient.
हाँ. तो एनीवे आज हमने बुलाया है एक्सट्रीमली टैलेंटेड सिंगर, पाकिस्तान की मायानाज गुलूकार मिस मारिया उनेरा. क्या हाल है?
What's up?
बिल्कुल
Thank
पीटीवी
you, thank
इंट्रो
you.
आपने दिया. हाँ?
Yeah.
मैं कहा दोनों कर लें, दीन दुनिया.
दीन दुनिया है.
I feel like I have to be like this now
Oh no, you said
this
the wrong
is
tune. That's the
probably
opposite of what we need right now.
because of the Urdu.
You threw her off, man.
Yeah.
नहीं नहीं, अच्छा आप थोड़ी बरगद तेज है आप में मारिया. ठीक है, तो हम इंग्लिश में ही करेंगे.
Hey, mix.
हाँ, इतना भी वैसी नहीं है यार. मतलब क्या हो गया यार, उर्दू बोल सकते हैं.
हाँ, तो क्या हाल है भाई? थैंक यू सो मच वंस अगेन फॉर
Thanks
बीइंग
for
हियर.
having me, guys.
क्या कहते हैं, काफी टाइम से हम चाह रहे थे. आई थिंक बिफोर अमतुल रीच्ड आउट, अभी मैंने रीच आउट
You
किया.
reached out.
Did I? I know.
बात
We
तो चल रही
discussed,
थी.
but then I
बात चल रही
didn't
थी.
reach. I was going to, but then he beat me to it.
I beat
Yeah,
you.
वरना
हाँ.
तो
वो कम कर रहे थे हम. कौन रीच
हाँ,
आउट
कि
करेगा?
ये मेरा कांटेक्ट है. नहीं, ये मेरा कांटेक्ट है.
लड़ते हैं ना हम, नहीं, मैं बुलाऊंगा इसे.
You know, अभी we all are like showing है ना किसके कितने ज़्यादा दोस्त हैं ना. अभी ये
But
चल रहा
then
है.
you also realize that we all know the same people to somewhat capacity.
Of course.
I was मुझे याद आ गया. Where we met for the first time.
It was years ago.
It was years ago. You were in the band.
Yes. Well, not really. I was one of the ambassadors along with you. You're talking about Dance for Life, no?
Yeah.
That was like back in 2014.
Something like that. Yeah.
That's 10
10
years
साल
ago.
Oh, wow. What was Dance for
So
Life?
एक NGO थी जो
It was a
arts
non-profit
को.
organization.
Oh my God, वो FESF के साथ जो affiliated होती थी. नहीं, वो दूसरी थी. वो Heartbeat थी शायद.
No.
Sorry,
So
I'm
this was
mixing.
अरे
this was
क्या याद
basically
करा दिया आपने?
this was
आपने?
basically पाकिस्तान में School for Life
Okay.
कहते थे, because वो लोग कहते थे ये क्या डांस
Dance allowed
ये
नहीं है
क्या
यहाँ पे.
डांस है. So over back in the day, basically there was this non-profit organization from the Netherlands that came to Pakistan to educate students on HIV and AIDS and all of that stuff. So then what they did was they got a bunch of like, you know, kids and like artists and like different people to represent. तो उनमें से हम थे.
Cute.
And then I remember we were in like this meeting boardroom of like one of the
Hotels, like a Mabari.
and like Ali comes in and he's giving us his speech about like, and we were all just like, what the hell?
ये
Like,
कौन आ गया है?
that's a real life story? Is that why we're all here? I remember that time. And then that was the first time I met Ali.
Yes, that was the first.
I think the first time we met.
I'm surprised how much I remember of that time.
Because I was thinking
क्या
कि
आपकी स्पीच क्या थी? एड्स लाइलाज है, इस तरह की जो बातें थी.
HIV से बच सकते हैं, मुझे भी हुआ था.
जिनसी ताल्लुकात से परहेज कीजिए.
No, I think you were telling a story about your family and like it was so intense and we were all just like, हम बस चुप थे सारे. And there were एक और actor भी थे. Naveed something.
Naveed Raza? नहीं, I don't think it was there. Some other Naveed.
नोमान इजाज.
नहीं ये
No, no, it
younger
was like a
guy.
Naveed thing. No.
शक्ल से नवीद लग रहा है।
और फिर B-boy वो भी थे B-boys.
Yeah, there were like so many. Actually, I don't remember the. I remember Abdullah Qureshi, of course, myself and you and एक दो और लोग.
And then when I came to Islamabad, we met then also.
We also
Abdullah
met
Qureshi
then.
के घर.
घर पे वो एक shoot था where we all had to learn this dialogue and everybody just kept messing up because you were just like, we're all friends and
ये
serious
इलाज
बात हो
है।
रही है और हम यहाँ.
ये बोला नहीं जा रहा। ये होना चाहिए इलाज यार।
But yeah, damn, that was a long.
तो इसमें क्या आप
long
लोग ने
time.
डांस किया, गाना
नहीं
गाया,
नहीं,
क्या किया?
it was like motivational speeches देते थे.
Basically brand
I used to sing.
ambassadors.
I used to,
Oh.
me and Abdullah back in the day when Abdullah was still doing music with his band, हम जाके बस perform करते थे for the kids in the school.
Sweet, okay.
So
And
we
I would
were
do comedy. Yeah.
Yeah,
And-
yeah,
and
yeah.
Karachi.
ये सब अलग अलग चीजें करते थे स्कूल्स में जाके ना.
It was fun actually.
Yeah,
it was
it
really
sounds-
nice. I got to. That was the first time I got to frequently come to Karachi also.
Because
through them.
you've lived and grown up in Islamabad.
Islamabad,
Yes. And like
That's when
Ali,
I was born. I
हाँ.
was born there too.
Much like Ali sir. ठीक है जी।
Yeah, so how is
And
Karachi
the
life
first, मैं
treating
इस
you?
पे ये भी ऐड करना चाहूँगा, फर्स्ट टाइम आई मेट मारिया वाज मैं कहूँगा मे बी लाइक अ माइलस्टोन मोमेंट इन माय लाइफ एज वेल, क्योंकि वही डॉन वाला टाइम ख़त्म हुआ था, कोविड हैड स्टार्टेड, अपनी वीडियोस जब मेरी चलने लगी तो गुल अहमद का कैंपेन
मैं वही
मिला।
कह रही थी, that's when we also met for the
Yeah,
first
yeah,
time.
yeah,
And I was gonna say
yeah.
कि you were at the same
हाँ,
shoot.
हाँ, बिल्कुल
Yeah.
हम तीन
Okay,
अमतुल
okay.
शहरजाद
हम
एंड
तीनों थे,
मुस्तफा
शहरजाद,
चंगेजी।
मुस्तफा and Faiza, the six of
Faiza
us.
was also there. Yeah.
वो भी तो
And-
था, चंगेजी भी तो था ना।
चंगेजी, हाँ. तो we did this funny kind of, everybody had a different character and we were
That
all
was
the.
a good shoot.
हाँ, that was a fun
good
shoot.
campaign.
Yeah.
You were really awkward though, I feel.
यार मेरा तो फर्स्ट टाइम था,
Fish
मैं
out
वैसे
of
ही
water because he doesn't really do.
Because
उस
they
वक्त
were
at least
doing-
act इतना नहीं करते थे
I
ना. I think
remember
acting
that-
में इतना नहीं था.
I remember the styling team like did they were flaunting Akbar's hair and he was just like यार ये क्या हो रहा है?
हाँ, they wanted to really censor
मेरे
your
लिए वो
girl.
था,
You were
मैं
a bit-
स्टिफ हूँ।
Yeah.
फिर एक ना मुझे बड़ा विविडली याद है, वो शमसी स्टूडियो में था ना मेरे ख्याल से ये, तो एक पॉइंट था जब उन्होंने मुझे ना शर्ट वो नहीं स्वेटर टाइप पहनाया, तो अब जिसामत उस वक्त भी इतनी वो खास थी नहीं, तो थोड़े मैन बूब्स उसमें दिख रहे थे, तो ना अब थोड़े ना ब्रांड मैनेजर देख रहा हूँ कंसर्न है लेकिन कोई कुछ बोल नहीं रहा।
हाँ.
तो मैंने कहा कि यार
ब्रा दे दे, मैं वो
बोल
पहन
दें कि
लेता हूँ।
मम्मी दिख रहे हैं, बोल देना। तो फिर हंसने लगे सब, फिर वो थोड़ी टेंशन डिफ्यूज हो गई, उन्होंने कहा हाँ कुछ और पहन लेते हैं।
नहीं उस वक्त एक्चुअली वार्डरोब के बहुत इश्यूज हो रहे थे, लड़कियों के साथ भी इतने ही हो रहे थे, तो डोंट फील बैड.
Oh my god, yeah.
No, I didn't feel bad at all. I was like, यार, you hired me.
लड़कियों के boobs देखना
Exactly,
natural
you
है ना?
hired me. जो बात है.
You hired me to be a comedian, not a model, right? तो मैं तो नहीं हूँ
बिल्कुल, और
मॉडल।
ये बहुत होता है, ये हम लोग के साथ होता ही रहता है कि भाई यू हायर्ड अस फॉर अस, नॉट बिकॉज वी लुक अ सर्टेन वे बट बिकॉज वी आर अ पर्सनैलिटी एंड यू वांट आर पर्सनैलिटी टू बी देयर. बट ये लड़कियों के साथ भी होता है कि यू नॉट स्किनी इनफ, और हम लाइक भाई आपको पता नहीं था कि मैं कैसी दिखती हूँ बिफोर हायरिंग मी. और ऑफ कोर्स मेरे साथ इतनी दफ़ा हो चुका है, इनको और ढीले कपड़े बनाएं, और ढीले कपड़े बनाएं, इनके कर्व्स दिख रहे हैं, कर्व्स को छुपाएं, बट बड़ी लग रही है ना, हम लाइक भाई ऐसी ही बट है, आई कांट
Yeah,
डू
they were,
एनीथिंग
I
अबाउट
remember
इट.
like they did my hair or something, and like at one point, like I get it, I have like a nice Filipino forehead, but it was a bit too much for them, na? Because like वो shine भी आ रहा था and everything, and they were just like इस तरह को हम किस तरह like इस तरह, and I was just like, just leave my forehead alone, bro. Like school की insecurities वापस आ रही है.
मुझे याद है मैंने एक टीवी शो किया था सिटकॉम, और उसमें यही होता था कि इसको गोरा कर दे,
Oh my god.
क्योंकि सारी कास्ट गोरी है तो काला कैसे हो सकता है एक बंदा, तो उसको पहले टेक रखना है, पता
हाँ,
नहीं
और बना हुआ भी भाई है तो एक ही फैमिली में एक ही रंग होना चाहिए.
क्या एक ही रंग है, पता नहीं क्या. मैंने कहा ऐसे नहीं होता, अमेरिका में भी तो काले गोरे लोग साथ में एक्टिंग कर लेते हैं.
हाँ यार इनको आता नहीं है एक्चुअली. ऑनेस्टली आई वाज रीडिंग दिस आर्टिकल एंड वाचिंग दिस मास्टर क्लास काइंड ऑफ थिंग कि अमेरिका में भी ब्लैक्स को जिस तरह लाइट करते हैं, देयर इज अ डिफरेंट आर्ट, लाइक जो उनके अफ्रीकन अमेरिकन होते हैं, देयर इज अ वे टू लाइट देम. तो और उस पर उनकी पूरी स्टडीज हुई हुई हैं, दे नो हाउ टू डू दैट बट यहाँ पे एक्चुअली नॉलेज ही नहीं है उनको करने की. दैट्स व्हाई दे फ्रीक आउट. लाइक कोई भी ज़्यादा डार्क आ जाता है, दे लाइक अच्छा क्या करें नहीं, गोरा कर दो इसको, गोरा कर दो, बिकॉज दे डोंट नो. आई नो यू नॉट, तुम तो हो ही नहीं, आई नो यू नॉट इवन दैट डार्क. इतना नहीं है कि वो हड़बड़ा.
I like that word.
Dusky is a good way to put it.
हाँ, मुझे किसी ने बोला था आपका कम्प्लेक्शन डस्की है, मैंने कहा ओ डस्की साउंड्स वेरी लाइक अमाना
मैं अपने
ड्यून के सेट पे बैठा हूँ
Yeah, and I am
aura to
Wheatish.
it.
है ना?
वीटिश वीटिश जो है ना मजा नहीं है. वीटिश है मतलब रोटी बन रही है गंदमी.
ये अच्छा
Musky is very
हाँ डस्की में
sexy
एक थोड़ा
थोड़ा. हाँ.
बैक इन द डे अर्ली स्टैंड अप में
मस्की स्मेल भी अच्छा. मैं अभी रिसेंटली पहली बार सऊदी अरब गया और उससे पहले ये जो ऊद और मस्की सेंट्स हैं इनसे मैं बहुत इतराता था एंड आई वुड नॉट लाइक देम
Yeah,
दैट
they're a
मच.
bit strong.
हाँ कि कोई सामने से शेख गुजरता था तो यू वुड बी लाइक साइनसेस खुल गए सारे. बट आई वेंट टू देयर परफ्यूम एंड देयर बिकॉज उधर शॉप्स बहुत थी ये सेंट्स की. तो मैं जब गया तो मैं देखे तो एक्चुअली इफ़ यू टोन देम डाउन एंड दे मिक्सड विद डिफरेंट सेंट्स तो बहुत अच्छी होती हैं. एंड आई इवन बॉट वन फॉर माई सेल्फ एंड आई रियली like it. I think this, you know,
ठीक
I
है,
don't know why I said
we'll
this.
call you Musky.
Because musky से आपको ये याद आया.
मस्की.
मैं कह रहा था अर्ली स्टैंड अप में आई यूज्ड टू डू अ जोक कि आई एम टॉल डार्क एंड वांट रैंसम. मैं उस पे कोई
Why do
हंसता
I
नहीं
know
था.
that? Why do I remember you saying that?
आपने फिर अर्ली इस्लामाबाद में कहीं शायद देखा हो.
I remember
या
because
गुल अहमद के सेट
2019
पे दे
में
दिया उन्होंने.
No,
क्या क्या पता नहीं, चलते
2019
फिरते
में
ये लाइन मारता हो.
2019 में I came to one of your shows for the first time. That was like my first week in Karachi when I had. So I think उस show पे आपने I think बोला
हो
होगा.
सकता है.
Because I remember you called one of my friends at the time on stage and she was just like, dude.
Oh, that must have been a show in which we were
Lol
together
वाले
then.
You all were together. Yeah.
Hey, that was your first week in Karachi
That was my first week in
of
Karachi.
living in Karachi.
That's a
like-
horrible introduction.
Of dude, if I don't even want to begin my first like 5 days in the city. It was so traumatic.
Please tell us.
Yeah.
Tell
It'll
us
be too
from
long.
थोड़ा
We
पहले
know.
से कि what
It'll be-
prompted to
Karachi is not an easy city to live in. We
Yeah,
know.
it
So
really
yes,
isn't.
please.
I don't know. I think because like I was so done with Islamabad कि मैं बस I had exerted सारी opportunities और मुझे कुछ समझ में नहीं आ रहा था. मैं खुश नहीं थी. लाहौर भी I stayed there for a few years. वो भी बस सही था. So I got bored. I got very like low on ambition and everything, and I was gonna come here to do a shoot for Zalbury, and it was something that I got after what felt like years, but I was like immensely broke, and I was just like, yaar, mujhe paise chahiye. And so then I came here, and for some reason I just took a leap of faith, and I just got them to book me a one-way ticket. And I remember I had hardly any money, and I didn't even tell my family because I have men in my family. Like my dad and my brother would have been like, "Pagal ho gaye ho."
हाँ.
वो
वन
भी
में टिकट
कराची.
लेके जा रही हो वो भी कुछ हाँ वो भी
So I
कराची
was a bit like, okay. तो खैर मैं आ गई और फिर उसके बाद बैठी रही and I was like shit, now I have no plan because the first 2 दिन was like shoot वाला वो जो system होता है ना आप
And then
hotel
once
पे हो.
that's done, you're like, what's next?
So basically I had no plan. So yeah,
Where were you staying though?
so the first 2 days
For the shoot,
it was the shoot people ने वो कराया था. And then उसके literally the night before where I had to check out, I was like, oh damn, okay, I need to plan I don't know anybody here. And like the company that the agency that I came with, obviously I knew them because उनके साथ काम किया हुआ था, लेकिन I didn't, like मैं उनके पास थोड़ी जा सकती हूँ. वो दिन घर पे रख लो यार.
हाँ एक कमरा करा दो प्लीज कहीं भी कुछ भी दिला दो.
But there was somebody who I was working very close with, and she was like, you know, if you know anybody, I can hook you up with somebody. You can crash in their place for a couple of days and this and that. तो तुम वो कर लो, and but like figure out, like, you know, quickly decide what you want to do. One thing led to another. I found out that a really old friend of mine who from back home from Islamabad was living here, and she was becoming an aspiring actress. And the only thing was I didn't speak to her for like 2 years. I was like, यार मैं कैसे
अप्रोच कर लूँ randomly
क्या
like
बोलूँगी, like, hey, what's up girl, how you doing?
रात को मैसेज करना था ना. You up?
You up? Hey, up. And so she was just like, yeah, sure, come over. I was like, man, I just need a place to where I can sit and think and plan, because I didn't want to go to another stranger's house. और मतलब मैं उसको जानती भी नहीं हूँ, awkward होता. तो खैर मैं उसके घर गई, and we hung out and everything. अब now keeping in mind, I don't know इसकी life में क्या चल रही है, ठीक है?
ये भी होता है ना.
मुझे नहीं पता था. वो बेचारी भी caught off guard होगी कि oh shit, like, you know. And हम बहुत पुराने दोस्त थे, so it would have been weird if she would have said no. You know, it was one of
हाँ भी
those.
बोलना था,
And vice
yeah.
versa. Like if I was in the same position as her, I would have also just been like, हाँ चल ठीक है. But again, like I said, I didn't know 2 साल के अंदर उसकी life में क्या क्या हुआ है. So I didn't know कि उसकी like, you know, relationship problems चल रही थी या mental health problems चल रही थी. So I showed up like with once.
Hey girl.
I'm like, hey, where's my room at? And she was just like frantic, and she was also going through her own thing. So वो जो period था ना, those 72 hours were the most traumatic and the most like quickest situation I had to be in, where I kind of saw Karachi like in full speed. And I don't know how to say it like without making, like, I don't want to give too much away because like obviously it involves a lot of other people as well, but it was one hell of a trauma. Like I'll tell you, it's actually linked to your show. So this one time, I'm not even kidding, it was like the 3rd day or something, theek hai? And first of all, let's just address where this apartment was. Muslim commercial.
Oh wow.
Okay? This little
Shady
small
area.
town girl was thinking कि क्या
मुस्लिम तो है ना नाम में,
I
अच्छा
was
ही
like,
होगा.
it's defense.
Muslim community में सारे infidels mostly
Okay, so
occupy.
also concept of like,
non-Muslim काम हो रहे हैं सारे,
but
basically.
you know, like the concept of like apartments above commercial areas, the concept of just apartments alone, it was very alien for me, and it was such a culture shock for me to see this many buildings, given that I'm from Islamabad and everything was just concrete here.
एक दूसरे पे चढ़ी हुई है सारी buildings, you know, all
तो
of
मेरे
that.
लिए वो था कि like I was just like, ये मैं कहा गया, अच्छा शायद ये नॉर्मल होगा, चल ठीक है, whatever. फिर रात को जब मैं जाती मैं कहती, what the fuck man, like what is all of this? Like I was scared. So my friend, I told her, I was like, hey, so a couple of like, you know, some people that I met like at a party 2 days ago are going to this comedy show, and I was wondering if you want to come. And
2
she was
दिन में
like,
आगे पार्टी भी कर लिया
हाँ,
आपने.
हाँ.
वाह,
ट्रॉमा के पीछे पार्टी और शो भी चल रहा है.
नहीं पार्टीज और सब कुछ वो ना शुरू में था.
अच्छा,
ट्रॉमा
अच्छा,
इस रात के बाद शुरू होता है.
मस्ती नहीं रुकनी चाहिए.
Comedy show के नीचे it was all downhill from there.
Exactly. Like the night that I came to see you guys, I was really excited because I was like, nice man, I'm going to a comedy show in Karachi. Like we don't have this shit back home.
Yeah,
ठीक है? Like it's very अब शायद maybe I don't know, but back in the day it would be like you would be dreading for
हो जाए.
an event that is not just a musical acoustic night, you know, something thora different. So anyway, so I was very ecstatic. So I went, everything was great. There was this guy I started seeing. I was like, hey man, like I asked him out. I was like, hey man, I'm going to a comedy show. You want to come with me? So everything was going fantastic, okay? We're hanging out after the show, and I got a call from my friend, jiske ghar pe main crash gई, and she was like, hey, kidhar ho tum? And I was like, oh, I'm at, where am I? I was in Clifton at the time, so I was like, oh, I'm here. And she's like, I need you to come home, like, right now. And it's like 11 p.m. And now I didn't realize it was 11 p.m. So when I saw the time, I was like, shit, वापस कैसे जाऊँगी? ये तो मैं करीम पे तो मेरी पैक हो जाएगी अकेली वो. Anyway, the guy was really kind enough. He's like, don't worry, I'll drop you. Like, if it's an emergency, blah, blah, blah. We get there, and there's a stranger girl sleeping on my bed. She's passed out.
ये एक और लड़की आ गई बेसिकली, एक और लड़की की एंट्री.
एक और लड़की की, she was just this random girl who was screaming in the building for help. And my friend felt sad, and like she went and she was like, what's up girl, like what's up with you, like kya scene hai? And she was just like, these people have my marriage contract, wo kya naam hai, my nikah I need it back. And my friend was just like, oh my God. So then she took him in, right?
My apartment.
Took him in, bathed her, literally bathed her, fed her, everything. It was a very frantic, like chaotic episode. Saying, मैं जब आई हूँ ना, मेरा सामान खुला हुआ है.
बस ये कि आ जाओ पहले नहलाओ उसको जल्दी यार, पता नहीं कहाँ से आई है.
Dude, seriously, I'm not even kidding. So
जल्दी नहलाओ उसको, सुला दो जल्दी से.
seriously, dude, I walk in and I was just like,
और फिर सुला भी, नहलाया, खिलाया, सुला दिया.
और fresh कपड़े भी पहना दिए, and like सब कुछ. और मैं अंदर आई हूँ, मुझे सिर्फ अपना
तुम्हारे
like,
कपड़े तो नहीं पहनाए?
अल्लाह का शुक्र है नहीं, but मेरा like सामान सब कुछ खुला हुआ था. मैं देख रही हूँ, मैं कह रही हूँ, bro, मेरा सामान खुला हुआ है. So I was like triggered, and I was just like, ये क्या बकवास है? And वो घर बेचारी का, like, you know, I get it, she was a struggling artist, it was a tight space and again I'm thinking this shit's normal. I'm like, this is normal.
कराची में यही होता होगा, पकड़ के लाते होंगे, आ जाओ नहला दूं तुम्हें.
And you know what when she called me ना, when she said कि घर आओ, जल्दी से घर आओ, I need your help, there's a stranger in the house, मैंने phone पे to break,
तुम्हें लगा होगा कि पता नहीं कोई break-in हो गया है.
मेरा ये वो coping mechanism ये था to crack a joke. तो मैंने कहा, damn, I must be really in Karachi now, huh? And she's just like, what? Bro, get home. क्या कर रही हो तुम? Oh my god, it was, anyway, long story short, in the other room with her and her boyfriend. It was weird. It was like, in fact, nobody slept actually. Nobody slept. Everybody was up the whole night because we were like, ये बंदी कौन है? ये क्या है?
अच्छा, पहली बात तो मैं जो भी देख रहा है, कराची में एक unwritten rule है. If you find someone screaming, don't open the door. Don't let them in. Don't bathe them. Don't feed, sleep them. कुछ नहीं करना. आप
उनको बस
बंद कर लें.
छोड़ दो.
बट पता नहीं ना कि लड़की की क्या सिचुएशन थी.
Yeah, so she
But
was.
what if वो घर से भागी भी होगी, घर से निकाला हुआ होगा, who knows?
No, so
यार,
that
लड़की देख के आप
girl
थोड़ा
was-
सोचते हो कि यार I want to help the woman. लड़का तो कभी कोई ना खोलता दरवाजा, but I get it that
She was like manic, this girl, right? And
यार
she
लेकिन
was.
लड़कियां वो उल्टी शलवार स्कैम भी करती हैं, मैं आपको बताया था.
I don't know what that is.
ये आपको बताएंगे बाद में.
Yeah, you finish your story, then we'll tell you another scam.
But it was basically like she was basically, unfortunately, a drug addict, and she was living on the streets, and she was having a relapse or a withdrawal. So everything that she was telling us ना कि वो निकानामा और नीचे ये होता है और ये वो सब उसके दिमाग में था. She just somehow ended up there, and to be honest, she was a great actor because I would have not known till like, because I spoke to her the next morning, you know, we all sat down. I was like, so like, what's up with you? And she's asked me if I have drugs. I was like, no, girl, I don't know what. And she's using like specific names that people say over here. And like, I didn't know
Which
what
drugs
the hell.
did she want?
She wanted hashish and like all those little
बाजी
stuff.
आइस है.
But she did ask me for that. And she was like, पड़ी होगी अंदर medicine cabinet में.
हाँ ना, medicine cabinet में भला उसको पता है मतलब.
She was like, medicine cabinet में होगा and this and that. So her story was really sad, like where she came from, how she ended up on the streets and this and that. But damn, man, what an experience. मैं भाग गई वहाँ से. The next day when I realized, I was like, damn, you an addict? Bitch, I am out.
हाँ, फिर कहाँ गई तुम उसके बाद?
उसके बाद then that was when I called like वो जो मेरी एक और जो दोस्त थी was like, I can hook you up with a friend and this and that. So I just crashed at his for like a week with like literally his mom and dad and everybody. I was like, Assalamu alaikum, मैं रहने आई हूँ आप लोगों के घर.
चले नॉर्मल घर तो.
But it was a proper house. I had my own space and everything. And I remember that was the moment where I was like, you know what? Maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe it's just not worth it. Maybe I should just go back to the comfort of my family house and just chill there and screw it. Like, we'll figure out how to make money later.
But then what made you stay then?
I left for Islamabad and I literally landed, and I think that was when Pepsi called me to collaborate with them, and I was like, this is
I
perfect.
guess I'm coming back.
I was like, this is got to be a sign. Like, it's got to be a sign. So I took that paycheck and I got myself an apartment.
Nice.
I settled myself down, and it's been now almost 6 years.
Oh.
Yeah.
Wow.
And I honestly did not
Kudos
regret.
to you, man. It's not easy. I know Karachi, being a woman especially,
It was tough.
navigating in Karachi is not easy. I have so many female friends who want to like move out. Like the Karachi में रहती हैं with their parents and they want to move out and it's not easy.
Yeah.
अच्छा इलाका ढूंढो जहाँ पे you feel safe.
Yeah, that was the number one thing, you know, like, okay, clearly I didn't learn any better. I didn't learn any better
अभी
from...
भी मुस्लिम कमर्शियल में ही हैं आप.
No, I didn't learn any better. But I slightly... Actually, who am I kidding? My first apartment was in Badr. So
Oh no.
Downhill ना Muslim के बाद Badr commercial.
I mean, I didn't know any better, okay? But
I've also lived in Badr. I've lived in Badr for 6-7 months and
Yeah,
2
that was
months
the
without
time.
electricity.
Oh,
जो बताया
Jesus.
शायद मैंने.
oh my God, 2 months without... No,
2
I would have
months
died.
without electricity and वहाँ पे ये होता था. Every night और every weekend वाली nights आंटी आती थी ची लड़ रहे हो मेरे पैसे दो. They were professionals who
There were a lot of... There was, apart from all of this dangerous stuff, obviously, I got major culture shock. just over like the infrastructure, the lifestyle,
Traffic, the way people
traffic
drive.
wasn't that much of a like a woe, but it was more or less about the water situation. I was like, what do you mean I gotta fill my tank up?
Yeah.
I
वो
don't know
छोटी
that
सुजुकी
shit.
आती थी
I was like so confused and like
एलियन कॉन्सेप्ट होगा ना
because in
इस्लामाबाद
Islamabad
में
it's line water, everything is just systematic, right? And I don't know. I mean, it used to be very rare that we would have to call a tanker and get the stuff filled up or whatever, you know. It was super rare. So for me I couldn't fathom कि हर हफ्ते ये होता है. अच्छा, so there are some certain parts in Karachi that do get line water, but then there's a cutoff and there's this,
But अब कोई
and there's a whole mafia and there's a whole this and that, and I was just like,
yeah, you're like,
I was like, what the hell? That's like bare minimum shit. We're struggling with that.
very soon we'll be making our own electricity, जो आधे लोग कर ही ले solar लगा के, but
But
not
you know,
very far from there.
What I loved the most about, and I will always pat myself at the back for this, is that I was so adaptable to the life here that I didn't care. I was like, okay, if this is what it is, like I used to literally wake up every morning, I talk to myself, I'd be like, Maria, तुमने ये किया है फैसला, you should stick to it for yourself and for nobody else, and like suck it up, dude. Like, what's the big deal? Like with anything, you know, छोटी छोटी चीजें होती थी, I'd be like,
Yeah.
like खुद उठ के क्यों करना है सब कुछ? But then
And
I'd
I
be
feel
like,
that builds character, and especially doing that in the 20s or like early 20s, like because
I was
ये-
23, 24 when I moved
Wow,
here.
that is young. That
Yeah.
is young.
I didn't know
वही-
any better.
That is amazing that you could do that. Yeah,
I was a dumb, like, you know, like just like, oh yeah, sure, flaunting your phone out in the cabs. Now I'm just like, don't fuck, I'll fight you. I will fight you. Okay, my hydro flask will break your head. All right, I got 2 Swiss knives in my bag.
Oh,
like,
damn, yeah.
Like now I'm a little
Yeah.
bit, you know.
Karachiite now.
Yeah.
you're like,
Yeah.
अच्छा लेकिन कम्प्लीटली कराचीआइट नहीं है आप मारिया बिकॉज आप में वो लहजा नहीं आ रहा मैली गंदी बातें नहीं कर रही स्लैंग तो मैं चाहता हूँ थोड़ा आप सीखें हमसे
Okay.
हाँ
हाँ, अकबर प्लीज
थोड़े मैं आपको टर्म सिखाना चाहता हूँ
Okay.
पहले तो है जानी
Jani.
हाँ
I
हाँ ये
say
तो
जानी.
सही जानी बोल रही हैं आप
But you say it in the sweet way, ना, like Jani.
जानी
Yeah,
थोड़ा
it's
cool
like
हो गया.
Jani.
commercials
वैसे
में मैंने
थोड़ा-
देखा जानी हाँ,
थोड़ा ये क्या कहते हैं अप्रोप्रिएटेड has been appropriated by the elite the bourgeoisie if you will
Jani is not that. वो Jani बर्गर से बोल
अच्छा,
लेते हैं कि
फिर-
hey Jani, how are you?
हाँ
Jani,
हाँ
do
नहीं नहीं ये
this.
I
छोड़ें
like the little
Yeah.
swing that you brought in. here.
Jani, you know वो
the cadence to it हाँ ये छोड़ें ये छोड़ें
वो आपका
आप
नहीं रहा,
कोई
sorry.
जैसे कोई
मशीन कपड़ा खा रही है.
हाँ,
Do you know
ये
what that
अच्छा है.
means?
No.
मशीन कपड़ा खा रही है
मशीन कपड़ा खाती है जब
That guy's, you tell me.
I don't know if they're machine कपड़ा
It's a वेजी
Oh.
वैसे ही जब नहीं वो आप उठते हैं या आप जा रहे होते हो पीछे आप
या
कमीज
रात तो शलवार
Oh,
कमीज में बहुत ज्यादा होता है कमीज
तो
अंदर
ये
हो जाता है।
बाजी है मशीन कपड़ा खा रही है is a good way of saying
Machine कपड़ा
खा रही है.
खा रही है.
So your ass is a
Your
machine
butt crack.
and कपड़ा खा रही है.
हाँ,
Yeah,
ठीक है.
Okay, great. I
तो ये
should write these down.
आपने ये चलाना है रोजमर्रा में
ये गाना अगर आप बना सके तो
Oh
मशीन
my god.
You should include all of
गुल
these,
अहमद
you
को
know.
ये नेक्स्ट कैंपेन होगा.
हाँ कपड़े से भी कनेक्ट हो जाएगा.
They're never calling us for work now after that
मुझे
joke.
तो उसके बाद नहीं बुलाया आपको तो शायद फिर बुला
मुझे
लिया
एक दफा हाँ, but like we're never
इसके
getting
बाद
called.
नहीं ठीक है ये बहुत अच्छा दिया अली सर फिर आपको कोई बंदा जैसे ना इनकेपेबल लग रहा है इनकॉम्पिटेंट
Yeah.
तो या तो हल्का
हल्का.
ठीक है हल्का
I've
इज
heard
द
that.
लीस्ट
Yeah.
डेरोगेटरी फिर नल्ला
Nalla.
हाँ अभी
इसको कुछ
नल्ले
नहीं आता.
अबे नल्ले.
हाँ ठीक है
Oh, I
दैट्स
thought
नंबर 2
Nalla was like
The tap? नहीं.
सुअर नाला
yeah.
हाँ,
Oh,
वो नाली और नाला.
Okay.
हाँ हाँ.
और सबसे जो है ना वो है टुच्चे
Tucce.
हाँ अभी टुच्चे जा ना नहीं होगा तेरे से
Do I have to do the eyes also that you
हाँ
do?
थोड़ा सा
Oh, you gotta like.
मतलब it's there's a
Derogatory है ना थोड़ा
हाँ,
down.
it's condescending
Oh, okay,
हाँ
okay, okay.
ये है ठीक है अमतुल आपके पास हैं कुछ ऐसे लफ्ज
That was really
Shapater.
good. Shapater.
You heard of it?
I've heard of Shapater. But wait, what does it mean
That's the
again?
idea. Ideology
It's to
behind
describe the
all of
people.
this.
It's like बड़ा शपाटर है वो.
Like Tez.
आप अच्छा आप
मेला
शपाटर
तेज।
हैं बिकॉज शपाटर इज लाइक स्ट्रीट स्मार्ट
Yeah.
Okay, okay.
तेज.
adaptable
Yeah. I'm
हाँ, अब है थोड़ी
Shapater.
अब she's getting there.
you're not like the victim आप हमेशा I'll make it happen I'm gonna do it ये नहीं के रोना धोना तो शपाटर is like a street smart sort of obdurate
और एक और आगे
hardened
मुझे चबार है.
हाँ ये भी अच्छा है.
Like he's eating my head.
Yeah, वो लंबी कर रहे हैं. Yeah,
Lambi is my
करना.
favorite. Like lambi is my
Ironically,
fave.
we say this on a podcast.
And I'm just like, यार वो अजीब लंबी कर रहा था.
हाँ, वो चबा
It's
रहा
my
था.
favorite thing to say because it just describes the essence of a conversation that's being dragged.
Exactly, it's very literal.
Literally.
Very literal.
It's just, it's very satisfying.
हाँ, तो उसको ये भी कि चबा रहा है.
एक और मैं दे देता हूँ, दादू का थोड़ा दे देता हूँ. लिंगो कभी आपको जाना हो.
और वो ये यूज
लिफाफे में गुई, which
लिफाफों
means
में गुई.
हाँ, लिफाफे में गुई मीन्स जब आप पैंट शर्ट पहनते हैं ना कोई भी, तो वो आप लिफाफा is envelope and गुई is ass. So हाँ, गुई is ass in Hindi. So you basically enveloped the ass.
In what? In jeans and pants.
Pant. So if you wear pant in
नहीं, but
in
किस
my gown-
सिचुएशन में आप कहेंगे?
It's mostly said to
It's
boys.
so ridiculous.
कि ये देखो ये लड़का आगे लिफाफे में गोई पहन के.
Like it could also be like लिफाफे में गुई, you know, or लिफाफे में गुई, you know, like what are you wearing? Like this is not
I
when
don't
in
know if
Rome.
I'm ever gonna have to use that.
I mean, you better
कभी
to have it just
दादू
in
में
case.
शो करना हो. That's how you open the show. सारे लिफाफे में गुई, हाथ ऊपर.
I like the word gooey is fascinating.
Nice.
अच्छा, I think पंजाबी में टू ही कहते हैं.
Tui.
एंड मैंने रिसेंटली किसी को इसको लिखते हुए रोमन में देखा, टू लाइक द नंबर ई, जैसे बस
I
होती
thought it
है.
would have been like TUI.
हाँ, ऑफ कोर्स, एंड लेकिन
Yeah.
टू एंड ई.
Genius.
हाँ, मुझे बहुत अच्छा लगा ये.
It's the shortest, laziest cut.
यार
तो yeah, this is some lessons in
अच्छा
Maila.
क्रैश कोर्स दे दिया है.
Yeah, I
इस
feel like I'm
एपिसोड का
ready.
टाइटल भी अच्छा लग रहा है मुझे, लेसन्स इन मेला फन फॉर मारिया ओनेरा. अच्छा, फिर ना मावा गुटका
Yeah,
रेकमेंड नहीं करूंगा क्योंकि आप
No,
सिंगर
हाँ.
हैं तो वो मुंह तबाह करेगा, लेकिन पिचकारी मारना भी एक आर्ट है. ठीक है, तो आप जैसे नहीं, हाँ, तो अब उसका जो छपाटर है ना, उसकी जो समझ लें ऑब्जेक्टिव जो है वो है कि मैक्सिमम डिस्टेंस है. सो इट कैन ईदर बी डन लाइक दिस, या जो बिल्कुल ही आप
And this is
expert.
to create aim because you put the
और I
target.
thought
Like a
स्ट्रीम को
slingshot.
पतली करने के लिए भी है ना?
Reduce the
स्ट्रीम
orifice
पतली
area.
करने के लिए स्ट्रीमलाइन.
हाँ.
Yeah.
This is so technical for like a spit.
Yeah.
और फिर जो एक्सपर्ट है ना वो ये भी नहीं कर रहा.
Oh,
ऑलरेडी उसको
हाँ.
हुआ है.
nasty.
I'm gonna nasty girl.
Sick.
The nasty was so. It was like. Is it nasty like good nasty or like?
There's an element of
nasty?
appreciation.
Bad, nasty.
You nasty. You nasty girl. Nice. Okay.
बहुत आला,
Good.
बहुत आला.
ये अच्छा था.
ये
Very
कुछ
nice.
Cool.
But congrats on your new song, Maria.
Thanks.
Oh, yes.
With Talha Anjum.
Thank
That
you,
is
thank
so
you.
cool.
It
How
was
was the
very random.
experience? How
It
did
was-
it come about?
I think
City lights.
yeah, it's called City Lights. It was very random, if I'm being honest. Like Anjum and I, we had been friends for I want to say 2 years, but we never ever spoke about working together or making music together. It was always, and I kind of liked the fact that it was never our hangouts and our sessions,
Yeah.
all with both of them, with both the boys. It had never been about work or just constantly like, oh, we should do something together. It came so naturally. इस तरह हुआ था कि basically we just made a plan to go over to the studio, and I was like, if you guys are working, then I don't want to, because he was doing a lot of back-to-back recording, so I was like, I don't want to, like impose or disturb, and he was like, no, come, aao, baitho, jam karte hain, and I was like, how am I going to jam with a rapper? And I was like, okay, maybe that's the new lingo. तो हम गए बैठे.
इधर आप चला सकती थी. अबे नल्ले कैसे हो गई है?
Okay, nice. Yeah, he probably would also have something fire to say back after that. So I'm glad I didn't chalao that there. But we went in and
हाँ, उसके आगे कोई response नहीं है. Honestly, what do you say to that? Like वहीं पे कहाँ है? ये कहाँ है? वही लिफाफे में कोई है. मैं क्या आया हूँ? मैं क्या बोलूँ?
it's such a to the point thing.
Yeah.
It's like, it's right, you're right.
Yeah.
It's a pack. Like, what do you say? Anyway, so we entered and I see JJ and Omer and obviously Anjum, and like it's super like moody and it's dark, and ek wo beat loop pe chal raha hai, and I'm like, sup guys, and I come in with my energy, and they're just like, hey, and I'm like, okay. I'm like, oh shit, I probably shouldn't have come. So I'm बैठे रहे, and our manager, so we have the same management team, and it was Mohsin bhai who brought me there. So हम बैठे हुए थे इकट्ठे और बस वैसे गप लगा रहे, and he was just like, Mohsin bhai says something along the lines of like, तो आप लोग गाने पे काम कर रहे हो? And Anjum's like, जी हमें गाने पे काम कर रहे हो, और हम सोच रहे थे अगर मेरे तुम भी गाओगी, and I was just like, whoa, wait, what?
Like, huh?
I was like, what? I didn't come, like, you know, I wasn't mentally prepared for that.
Yeah.
My creative juices aren't flowing right now. And then he was like, सब कुछ लिखा है, तुम बस खड़ी हो जाओ और गाओ. And I was like, oh, okay. Wow. Then he sang it, and then I heard it, and then we obviously, you know, upar niche did everything. And then next thing, like 2 hours later, we just had the song ready, and I was just like, okay, sick. Nice.
Yeah.
And then I left. And
How
then
long ago was this?
This was like not too long, like a month ago. Okay. It was very, very, very recent. Sab kuch. I was like a one-take gal.
Nice.
So
you didn't even go like prepared or anything. You just wahi pe.
To be honest, my voice actually was a bit thoda sa like low tha us din. I didn't do even like my morning
Warm up
rehearsal.
or anything,
Nothing, man. I just walked in. And we sat there. We hung out for a little bit. Spoke. Omer wore a sombrero. We made fun of him, and then next thing you know it, I'm right behind the microphone and I'm singing the song, and then bas ho gaya tha. Uske baad phir I never heard about it. I forgot, not forget, but like in the sense कि मैंने कभी नहीं पूछा ना मेरी उनके साथ कोई बात हुई थी about the song. Just one random day, like last week. Like literally, I'm not even kidding. Last week, it was. I just find out that JJ is going to release the song, and he's getting it mastered by Joke Bhai. And bus weekend ko nikal raha, and I was just like, oh, sick. Like, what do I gotta do? And they're like, nothing. I'm like, I love
Enjoy
my job.
Yeah.
And then the song came out, and I was a bit skeptical, I'll be honest, because like the boys don't really collaborate with girls that much, right? So for me, it was a bit like, okay, I don't know, because their fans are super, like, they got a cult following.
Oh yeah.
Like my DMs is flooded with like Indian kids who are diehard Anjum and Yunus fans.
Yeah.
Like they are, like I've never seen.
But that's why it's
that
unique,
kind of,
because they haven't done anything like
collaborate with someone
I
like
think
you
so,
before.
Yeah, and it was cool because like they also like I remember when I was having a conversation with Tala Anjum, he was so open. He was just like, girl, do whatever you gotta do. Like, you're the singer. I'm just gonna write your part. You can tweak it, whatever. Tumhe pata hoga ki tumne kis tarah karna hai aur ye aur wo. And I was just like, that's really comforting. Because, you know, I've had experiences where I would go sit with the producer or sit with other musicians, and like, you're being asked to write, specifically when it's your words, and then they're like, yaar,
मजा नहीं that line मजा नहीं आया
इसको थोड़ा सा expressive कर लेते हैं. And I'm like, what do you want me to do? Put a gali in there, man? Like,
like that's my style, you know, like that's
like it is what it is.
Yeah.
I write sad shit. Get over it. Like fuck it, dude. Like whatever. Okay, like it's fine. And like even if I'm happy, it's still gonna sound sad. It's just a style.
Yeah.
So I've had my fair share of like other
this
artists.
experience में you had
In
the
this-
freedom to do whatever.
Yeah, and it
अच्छा आपने
felt
जो वो कहा ना
natural.
कि आगे पीछे कर लिया, इसका टर्म होता है एडजस्ट.
एडजस्ट कर लिया था हमने.
हाँ मारिया तो
कर
मान लो
लियो.
देख लेंगे एडजस्ट कर लेंगे.
उसने वैसे actually, you know what? I think he did say this
Adjust कर
exact
लेना.
line. He's like, तुम पढ़ लो, तुम देख लो, फिर हम adjust कर लेंगे. You know what? I think he did say this. That would be really funny if he did.
But you know, like you mentioned their cult following. Like I was hosting a series of concerts, और उसमें 2-3 concerts ये क्या कहते हैं youngstunners के थे, and man, they had to, after the show, they had to hide in a room.
Yeah, I've
because they're
experienced
coming,
that.
they're banging on the doors, and they like the whole team hid them inside a room. And because the audience wasn't leaving even after the concert was over, वो खड़े हुए जा ही नहीं रहे दरवाजे के बाहर खटखटा रहे हैं. They're like, what do we do? Like they were literally in a hideout.
Yeah.
It
No,
was
this is, I think
crazy.
this is an amazing time for Pakistani music, and you know, seeing all the music there is, it's amazing to see that.
Honestly,
Yeah.
like I'd also like, I look at them as my friends. You know, I there's always a fine line where you have to cut out the fact that this other person is famous or has or whatever. So for me, obviously, when I'm meeting you very frequently na, to phir wo khatam ho jata hai in my head. So then I feel like, oh, okay, like this is just
And
a
I
normal
think
dude
that's
for me.
how it should be between artists, right?
Yeah.
Of course,
So I didn't anticipate the aftermath
And is
as
there
much.
जैसे हमारे कमेडियंस की we would say some semblance of a community. Musicians में भी इस तरह का है कि people get along, fans हैं एक दूसरे के, दोस्त हैं
Oh,
करीब.
100%. Like Kashmir band, they're my homies. Like I would say that they're my like family here. You know, I love those boys and their wives. Like everybody, each and every single one of them have taken care of me, and like, you know, we've supported each other in so many different ways in terms of music, in terms of life, in terms of just fun and everything. Wo hai unit, and I feel the same way with the youngstunner boys as well, because they're very like welcoming. They'll welcome you in not just in their home and in their space, but like they'll introduce you to other people who you think you could get along with, and this and that. So I got to meet JJ out of, you know, I hung out with, and what a cool guy. Like he's such a gentle giant.
Who's
JJ47? He's a rapper.
Okay. I'm sorry.
Sorry, I don't know you. I thought you guys
Yeah, I'm
knew.
sorry.
वो आ जाएगा.
तो आपको पता था?
हाँ,
आपको
मुझे
अच्छा,
पता था.
आपको भी पता था?
नहीं, मुझे नहीं पता था. मैं सोची थी
Shit,
बीच
I
में
feel
रोकूं या
so-
नहीं. मैंने बोला
नहीं, मुझे
सभी
पता,
सुन
मैं
रहे हैं
ऐसे-
तो मैं भी चुप हो जाती हूँ. लगता है सब कुछ करता
हाँ.
है.
He's in the song,
मुझे
guys.
JJ तो जर्जीस था, वो ARY का जी.
I thought he was the producer, because कभी-कभी गानों के आगे प्रोड्यूसर का भी नाम डाल देते हैं, तो
हमारी
मुझे
अब
लगा
ये गाना
producer
है
है.
JJ47 कौन?
Oh my god. Yeah, and it's going to be on you guys.
It's just I feel like I don't
I
listen
thought
to music
producer
as much. I think I now that we're talking about music, it's just that I've just
थोड़ा
been so
वो
disconnected
दिल
by
चाह रहा है
music.
अंदर का
वापस म्यूजिक करने
रैपर
का.
आ रहा है वापस.
हाँ, one day.
बड़ी
I think you should
रिपब्लिक
totally do a comeback. It would be really, really cool.
एक
I think, you know, it's a,
कोलैब करें साथ.
हाँ, I think
We can add fun like Sindhi words to it.
Yeah.
And Tagalog word.
And Filipino
में
words.
Maila
Yeah.
lingo featuring Akbar also.
Yeah, it'll be such a bilingual song.
यार बहुत अच्छा होगा ये.
है ना?
नल्ला टुच्चे
हाँ,
हर बीट पे
बीच-
ना.
Yeah,
में
you'll
आ रहे
have
हैं
like
ना?
your ad libs.
हाँ.
Exactly.
You and your husband can film it.
Yeah.
This is
Always
happening.
ready. Always ready.
This is a disaster. I think that will be a
और गाने का
disaster.
नाम है बाजी मशीन कपड़ा
कपड़ा
खा
खा
रही
रही
है.
है.
हाँ. And Gol
Every-
Ahmed is sponsoring it.
Yeah.
ये डन है, ये डन है.
और हर किसी की शलवार कभी मशीन कपड़ा खा रही होगी वीडियो
और
में.
वीडियो में यही
हर
होगा ना,
किसी के अंदर लगे
सब
होंगे.
ऐसे ही खड़े होंगे.
हाँ.
And turning
As first.
और जिसकी नहीं खा रही उसका मजाक उड़ा रहे हैं. ये कॉन्सेप्ट है.
हाँ.
ठीक है. अच्छा, एक और सवाल था हमारी कि जैसे हमारी यूट्यूबर कम्युनिटी है, ऑब्वियसली सम मोर देन अदर्स, थोड़ा बहुत यूट्यूब वगैरह से कमा लेते हैं. काफ़ी सारे लोग तो अपना मतलब सस्टेन भी कर लेते हैं, इससे खर्चा उठा लेते हैं. इज स्पॉटिफाई एंड अदर प्लेटफॉर्म्स द सेम वे फॉर म्यूजिशियंस? इज इट पॉसिबल टू just rely on that streaming income?
I don't know if it is in Pakistan, because I'll be very honest with you, I've made like $80 only out of Spotify, because मैंने कभी वो उस तरह I never threw out music the way most musicians in our industry have. For me, it was always content and like music through Instagram, through a brand,
live
through
shows. I've
collabs,
seen
and live
you
shows.
do
Like I do a
amazing.
lot of like the type of shows that I had to do in Karachi to sustain my life here was to genuinely make people dance. I feel like you've been to a couple of them too, and like that's वो तो सबसे बेस्ट होता है. If
And
I'm
you
being
do a
honest.
great job. By the
I
way,
love-
I've seen many live performers. बहुत musicians होते हैं जो स्टूडियो में बहुत अच्छे लगते हैं. आप
हाँ,
उसको
और
सुन
live
लें.
नहीं-
Live
energy
में
नहीं
you're
होती
like,
live
no,
में, yeah.
because that needs to be not just a good performer or a good singer. वो तो है. How to take the audience, you know, how to engage them.
And you know, it's tough. Like, you're doing that for 2 hours. Like, last weekend was my first show of the season, and I was like, damn, मैं तो भूल गई थी ये कैसे करते हैं. And like, it's tough, you know. But so that is essentially how I always made money. But it is possible, of course. Of course, it is possible. I know a bunch of musicians who have earned through, I wouldn't say Spotify on like directly, but I would say that they would bank, like for example, like they have a distribution company, so you become a member. क्या कहते हैं? It's called DistroKid. That's how I distribute my money, and there's a proper a section for your bank where you make money out of all of the platforms jahan bhi aapne apne music dala, and like it comes collectively. So I know, I could be wrong, but I know a little bit ke like ye hai. That's how they generate money. I think with YouTube it's direct via Google, I believe. But with Spotify it's a bit like you have to go through, because Spotify directly
नहीं होता वो एक हाँ डिस्ट्रीब्यूटर वहाँ पे different streams
पाकिस्तान में जनरली प्लेटफॉर्म्स के थ्रू अर्न करना इज anyway like a little tough, क्योंकि वो सारे systems in place नहीं है, you know, फिर conversion के भी मसले आ जाते हैं, कुछ पाकिस्तानी views especially YouTube पे कम है, तो I feel like any artist in Pakistan we all rely on
नहीं I was watching a Drake interview and Drake was saying कि मेरी जो इन platform की जो पैसे ना वो कुछ नहीं है compared to the other brand deals या live shows.
At the end सारे artists are relying on, you know, either branded deals
also
or like
वो भी customer support is actually a problem. जैसे पता नहीं आपने देखा है नहीं, अभी वो ग्रुप पे बात चल रही थी YouTube और Facebook के, आपको ना अभी टैक्स फॉर्म्स अपडेट करने हैं, उसमें किसी ने कोई गलती कर दी, आपकी मोनेटाइजेशन डिसेबल हो गई या सस्पेंड हो गई, तो अब वो किससे पूछना है इसका हल, वो भी नहीं पता,
कोई है ही नहीं बिल्कुल.
Like what do you do? My Facebook got hacked once. And like I worked so hard to like get to 80,000 followers. And my dad one day calls me and he's like, why are you posting random meme content? And I'm like, oh my god, I've been hacked. And he's like, hacked? What hacked? And I was like, I'll call you back. And I checked and I was like, oh my god. And then like my dad, bless him, he's such a sweetheart, man. He started commenting on those. He's like, hey, you bastard. You get lost out of my daughter's account. She worked very, very hard for this. And the guy was just like deleting dad's comment. And then my dad would like share it. It was hilarious.
Did you get it back?
No. I told everybody.
By the way, now
that I knew
we
in
have
Facebook.
people here, Facebook.
Yeah. Now
so
we have
now
local
I'm just
teams
like,
and no, you can still get it back.
I wonder if it's still hacked. I want to check.
But अभी मतलब वो है कि Facebook is pretty much useless. कोई reach नहीं है, कुछ वो नहीं है.
But I think the sadness of the fact कि like यार it's like 10 साल लगे यहाँ तक पहुँचने के लिए, you know. So I got a bit sad, but yeah, there is no customer service. Like who do you call? Like what do you do?
But यहाँ पे अब Meta के representatives are very
They're
active.
working in Pakistan.
And so if you do have a complaint, message any one of us.
Okay,
and
great.
We'll put you connect you with them.
Yeah. Okay,
because
great.
Meta के अंदर वो Insta भी आता है, Facebook भी. So दोनों मसले आपके हल हो सकते हैं.
You know, sometimes I wonder like if all of this खत्म हो जाए ये प्लेटफॉर्म्स क्या होगा. मुझे डर लगता है like सोच के
लाइव शोज और क्या.
Live shows तो होंगे, but then that's like what 4 months out of the 12 in a year.
नहीं तो we'll be pushed to do them more in different areas, different cities, which is ideal.
टीवी में आएंगे और क्या.
वही.
But it is a bit
पाकिस्तान की मायनास गुलूकारा हमारी अंदर.
Exactly.
It's scary, the fine line of like when did we get here that we became so dependent on it, like
platforms.
Yeah.
That's what I was having a discussion the other day as well. I was like, I don't want to create for Instagram anymore. You know, now it's like quick cuts and jilly bolo or kam bolo or in 1 minute ke andar banao. And I'm like, that's not real creativity. I'm not being creative. I'm just pleasing a platform.
Yeah.
That what
To stay
works on this
relevant.
platform.
To
It's
stay
not
relevant,
real.
yeah.
Also we're too old to adapt to every new fucking trend and हर चीज बस फौरन समझ जाओ.
I mean that comedian Louis C.K. did it, right? Because
I love Louis C.K.
Yeah, even
he's
though
one of
he's
my favorites.
masturbating in front of people.
Yeah.
That
अच्छा गलत
bit
होता है
is,
वो.
yeah.
I thought सही है.
I mean his Netflix
नहीं वो
specials
तो
were
मैं
hilarious.
बर्दाश्त करता
okay,
हूँ
sorry.
तुम्हारी. But yeah, I mean I have a marionera.com and just
Yeah.
that is one. But then for that you have to be like at a level where you can get away from the platform, be like I am my own entity.
बिल्कुल, which is
Oh
tough,
my God,
यार.
I'm
But
exhausted
it is
thinking about
worthwhile.
it.
मैंने recently experiment किया. I've tried building my own mailing list कि मैं direct हो जाऊँ, and I managed to sell out 200 tickets in under 72 hours.
Wow.
Just
Wow.
because of that.
Wow.
Because direct access. Yeah.
Wow.
Nice.
Wow.
Yeah,
Okay.
this is a good way.
That's the
That's
That's how
a-
Louis C.K. does it.
yeah.
ना, क्योंकि उसके बाद पूरे दुनिया में उसके इतने फैंस हैं, सबके ईमेल एड्रेस है, तो वो जो भी नई चीज होती है वो भेजता है.
सबको
Okay,
डायरेक्ट
यहाँ पे show
चली
है.
जाती है.
Nice. That's
Yeah, we should all do that.
good. On that note, thank you,
Thanks
Maria,
for having
coming.
me, guys.
It was a
It was a lot of
pleasure. I mean,
fun.
I think it's the first time we had a musician
Yes.
as a guest.
Yes.
And
I learned things today.
Yeah.
जो आपने
Ah,
इस्तेमाल करनी है
Yeah.
आइडियली वीडियो बनाते हुए कि सामने कोई नल्ला आया एक सेकंड रुको अभी नल्ले
Yeah.
Real time.
Yeah, and
Nalla
I'll
respond.
do the. What was the one with the eyes?
ये इसी तरह वो
Oh,
एक ये तो
they're all with the eyes.
हाँ there's a
वो
constant
चबारे वाला
So you have to, like-
countenance to have
It's like an attitude.
you हाँ yeah there's the Shapater
And
attitude
please do not let any ladies come and bathe them. ये जो हुआ था.
That wasn't me. I
No,
wasn't
no,
in on
but-
that.
but- show पे
You
थी।
tell them.
हाँ, please don't.
unless it's
Not in
Gusal
Karachi.
Unless
Especially.
I'm saying unless it's Gusal फिर करते हैं
then you have to
Oh,
bathe
no.
people, but yeah.
Okay. Thank you, Priya.
Thank you.
Guys,
Bye-bye.
That was
See
a
ya.
weird note to end
I
on.
know